culture like you've never seen. D1 and only spinning tales so grand. From Marvel to Disney, she's a digital fan. Raven takes the stage with insight so keen. She brings a perfect balance to the entire team. Get your comics ready, your collection's on display. From action figures that fans love to play. The biggest bro steps onto the stage with his joyful laughter. The fans are all the rage. From his comedic charm to his biggest heart, he brings the vibes from inside and out. He leads with love, and that's without a doubt. Welcome to VeVe Radio, where the fandom grows, with the one and only Raven and the biggest bro. We dive into comics, from pages to screens, collectibles and culture like you've never seen. Get ready, kick back, enjoy the space. VeVe Radios live for everyone in this place.
We are live! Welcome to VeVe Radio, ready! Oh! It is your boy, the big ass bro. Oh! Back at it again with episode number 14 for your head tops. How you doing today? It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful time. We have a wonderful guest. Just a quick spoiler. It's gonna be a Batman of a time. All right. Are you guys ready? And of course, we are empowered by Key Comics, our official sponsors. If you're not checking out his whatnot shows, what are you doing? And without any further ado, we have our co-host, D1 and Ole.
Hey everybody, good morning, all the way from sunny Hawaii, tuning in live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Thank you for tuning in. It's going to be a great show. I got the little prince here with me, so he's going to be co-producing. Yes, he is. He's checked in, so he's here. But before we continue on, let us also bring in our other wonderful co-host on the show, Raven.
Hello. Hey, thank you everyone for being here and joining us in the chats. We've got a big show today. We have supported giveaway from VeVe. They'll be giving a comic out today. So to enter that giveaway, just type hashtag VeVe in the chats, and we'll use the StreamYard tool later in the show to pick a winner. But we have more. We also have a giveaway from VeVe Radio's official sponsor, Key Comics. We have 4 prizes. Each winner will receive 3 physical comics. These comics will be from this week's release, same day as print, and you must be present and willing to share your address. And we'll spin for a winner later in the show, but also make sure you listen to some clues Big Bro might be giving out later in the show, because one winner will get a 1 of 25 ratio book of All New Venom number 5 by Dyke Ruin, the cover artist for that issue. And just want to make a note to everyone that's entering these giveaways. Custom fees seem to be nabbing a few people. So just be aware of that if it's being shipped outside of the US. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta unmute myself. Oh, right. So yeah, thank you, Raven, for that. So yeah, PSA on the custom fees and the prices going up. Also, if everyone could like, follow, and subscribe to VeVe on all their socials, on their Facebook, Instagram, X, and Discord. And also, please go and follow, like, and subscribe also to Key Comics. He's got an Instagram, he's got an X page, and also on his whatnot, he's got shows on Fridays and Mondays. So make sure you go and set your bell notifications for that, so you can, so you won't miss out on his next shows. And also, if you could go and subscribe to VeVe Radio's YouTube channel as well, that would be awesome. And just want to give a shout out to the people in the chats. So we've got, hey, the man himself, Key Comics, what's good? We got O'Milly, hey everyone. We got Pastor Nack saying good morning. We also got Kiwi. Yeah, they're saying good morning, buddy. Let's see, we've got Evolve tuning in from XAO. We got Ochoa Love. Oh my gosh, dude. We got Kryptoni. Let's see who else. And we also got Majin. And there's about 27 eyeballs watching. So thank you everybody for that. Over to you guys.
Let's go. The producer is ready to produce. He is live in effect. But ladies, we did have some homework from our man Gary Agent 415, and it was Helverine. D and I both were watching Helverine, but somehow, some way, we saw like we read two different books. So I don't know how it happened.
I didn't do my homework, so I'll let you guys fight over this one.
All right, so I'll go over what happened in my story, and then Dee will go over to yours. This is the beautiful thing about comic books; they're all named the same thing sometimes, and then you get two different stories. So my story was the Wolverine and this guy named Johnny Cage. I know Johnny Cage, like from Mortal Kombat, but it wasn't Johnny Cage. I was waiting for him to be Johnny Cage, but he wasn't Johnny Cage. Then I thought maybe it was Johnny Blaze, but no, he said Johnny Cage. But anyway, they went to this facility where they had a demon stored. I don't remember the demon's name, but Dee remembers the demon's name. But there was a demon, and they had him stored, and so they ended up capturing Wolverine. They strapped him up and put him in the same like suit that made him like the X-Men. And then then he got possessed by the demon. He was sent to hell, and then it was just like a horror movie from then. Like he was just terrorizing people. Like Logan was gone, and it was just Wolverine's powers with the demon. So yeah, it was intense. But the art though, like lots of flames, lots of fire in everywhere, and the fire looked good. So yeah, that happened in my story. Dee, what about yours?
Okay, so my story was also Helvery #1. Okay, and I got mine because the clues that Guri told us was, the Helverine, but with the orange fire flames. And that's exactly what my book had too. So mine is it started off, with Mephisto. He's got a lot of servants, and one of them is Bagra Ghul. I'm pretty sure that's how you say his name. Bagra Ghul, which is like a demon spirit. So they essentially take the essence from Bagra Ghul and kind of put it in like the system. Thank you. Into the system where they like also injected into like a bunch of these soldiers who passed away. There's like in the storyline, there's like a time skip on how the story like ends up being in the current day that they're talking about. So essentially, the essence of this bad spirit gets put into these soldiers that had passed away, which they dug up and resurrected, and hence they become Helverine, because it's also they use like the same what do you call it, the tank that Wolverine was in when he got his stuff put in,
The adamantium,
yeah. So that's essentially what they did to these soldiers, and they rise up with these superpowers, while also at the same time they're like really evil. And that's as far as I got to. Yeah, so
That's cool.
two different like stories, but also kind of the same, because it's like a bad, they all get kind of like injected within the system of these powers. Yeah, it was interesting, very interesting for sure, to see like two different stories out of the same title book.
So does yours have like a whole bunch of flames too, or like?
Yeah, mine had a bunch of flames.
When
And
they
just
were in hell, like mine was like it was crazy.
well, these ones because they're not in hell, they're like in modern times, like in the outside world. But the soldiers that got resurrected, they have like almost like zombie-ish. Like you can tell they're dead, right? Because it's like skeleton face, but they're like yeah, glowing, just kind of like that on the picture.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well,
So
that's the beauty of comics. You know, you never know what you're gonna get, right? Let's go. And this week we have a plethora of comics bringing your way, starting off with Marvel Comics. D, take it away.
Okay, so Marvel Comics are dropping this Wednesday at 12 o'clock a.m. Pacific time. We have One World Under Doom #3, Predator vs. Spider-Man #1, Amazing Spider-Man #2, X-Men #15, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man #5, Ultimate Black Panther #15, X-Force #10, Avengers #25, Deadpool Wolverine #4, Eddie Brock Carnage #3, Magic #4, New Champions #4, Infinity Watch #4, and Sabretooth, The Dead Don't Talk #5. All right.
And I just took my screen away, so let me put it back. Heck
No.
yeah.
You want me, do you want me to read the Dynamite?
I got it right here. Sorry, guys. Boom. Dynamite Entertainment. We have Sherlock Holmes Year #1, Elvira Mistress of the Dark Spring Special, One Shot #1, Powerpuff Girls #5, Greatest Adventure #4, Evil Ernie #3, Complete Alice in Wonderland #3, Lady Demon #3, Red Sonja #10, Thundercats #7, and Purgatory #2. And Raven, we got some ablaze for you today.
We do. We have Vampire State Building 1 through 4, and then Un/Scared 1 through 7.
Let's go. And ladies, which ones are you interested in?
I don't think I'm picking up any comics this week.
Is there one like you want to like highlight maybe?
There's one that well, just because it's that series, The One World Under Doom.
Oh, nice.
I will highlight that one, but let's see, what do we have here? We have the Avengers have faced Doom and they lost, but Earth still needs avenging. And it's not just the heroes who dislike having Doom in charge. And so, heroes and villains unite against Doom, intent on taking him down once and for all. But that's not all. A simultaneous magic attack reveals the shocking truth of how Doom took over the world, with terrifying implications for how others might or might not take it from him. However, Doom's mind, vast and cool and unsympathetic, is not the only one regarding Earth with envious eyes. So I do like this series, and I think maybe once it's completed, I'll go back and read them. But we read the #1, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was pretty good. So
he has a literal pet T-Rex. Like what are we talking? Yeah. Like, dude is the man. And these comic covers look really, really cool. This one with all the Avengers down and the flame and then the T-Rex in the back. And this, I'm not sure who the cover artist is, but it kind of gives off like a almost
that one caught my eye for sure. I think it was Chris something, yeah.
Chiaroso. Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I like that.
I like that.
All right, what about you, D?
So I picked Magic #4. And so this one is Magic is struggling to keep herself together. But will the return of her old friend Danny Moonstar help? Or will the confrontation bring out Ileana's dark child self? So I'm assuming this is because it's on #4. I have not kept up with the storyline. But I just saw that the cover was really beautiful, and this is done by J. Scott Campbell. So, yeah, their work is really fire. Yeah, I think I need to start. So I've collected them on VeVe, so I think I need to start actually reading them, so I know what is happening because this sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so this was really interesting because there's 3 different covers, and it's by 3 really talented female artists. This one's the Peach Momoko right here, And then we also have the Rose
Oh,
Besh one right
Rose
here. So
Red.
like,
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah,
beautiful.
fire. So
Fire.
I mean, this might be a very popular book to collect this week, and this might,
Mhm.
might do some numbers, maybe. All right, then we have the regular comics that came out on the Blue app this week. We have Captain America number 333, and if you get number 333 comic, you're in the game. All right, there's only 2,000 editions, but this one was $10. This was John Walker first appearance as Captain America. So very interesting. It's especially prevalent because of the new movie that's coming out. It's going to be Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts number 1 is dropping on Thursday. The first appearance of Thunderbolts, and this is when Winter Soldier joins, possibly joining in with the Avengers. Maybe, who knows? And then we have one of the covers. I think it's the Ultra Rare, yeah, where it has that toy cover. So I know that a lot of people are collecting those. I believe there was like a Magneto one, a Cyclops. There's been plenty of them out there. So another one for your collection, guys. Thunderbolts number 1 is going to have 3,000 editions for $7.99. And this week in the Comic Burns, we have X-Men number 2. X-Men number 2. This was 10 gems. There's about 1,845 left out of 5,000. So this one did sell pretty okay in comparison to most, but there's a little less than half left. And then we also have Daredevil number 232, and it's going to be the first appearance of Nuke. First appearance of Nuke there, and it's going to be this very patriotical guy. I really like the Seeker rare on this one. That one looks really cool. I think in the VeVe verse, that would be fire, literal, right? Huh?
Mhm.
Get it? Get. Oh yeah, it's bad.
I got it.
Yeah.
So, will you ladies be trying to save X-Men number 2 or Daredevil 232?
I have a few. I think I went for a few of the X-Men, so I think I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I saved a few.
What about you, D?
Yeah, I might have to go look in my, because sometimes I buy books, but I don't remember what I bought. So I have to go and look to see what I
Right.
have. If I don't,
Right.
then yeah, I'll probably pick one up.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. And that leads us to our first break. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Every little thing I do never gets past a pad one like you. You don't want to miss out again. But these drops not pretend. Baby, when you finally grab that Vader in that tea, guess what? It's gonna be mine.
That's right. It's May the 4th, and VeVe's got the ultimate Star Wars drop lineup.
Digital comics, collectibles, and galactic legends. From Vader to Jabba, Mando to Grogu, available soon.
Want to flex a Fett or snag a Skywalker? Don't wait in line. Just tap and collect.
Whether you're a Jedi, a Sith, or just Force sensitive on Fridays, join millions of collectors and celebrate the galaxy far, far away. The VeVe way.
So don't delay. It's VeVe all day. And you know what we say. It's gonna be mine.
Round of
Let's go.
applause!
Nailed
Great
it.
job, big bro.
Let's go. Sorry for your listening ears.
Oh,
I
it's
am not
perfect.
No,
emoji, you know what I mean? But I
Thank-
try. I try.
No, that was top shelf. Top shelf.
Let's
You've
go.
got a fan there.
Let's go. I got one. All right, so we did have some drops that happened this week. We had the Cool Rain Pop Ball drop. I thought that was really, really cool. Did you guys happen to go for this drop?
I did. Well, I went for a couple. I had restraint.
Okay.
But I did get, my favorite was the Wilson. and I got 2 Wilsons, so I was
What?
happy. Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Um,
Wilson's dope.
I've
Wilson is-
wanted to go a few more times, but I'm trying to be good and save some gems, which is never works for me, but I'm trying.
yeah. What about you, D?
That was a no. I did not go. For
I did go for one. I did not get the one I want. I want the Wilson, but I did get the basketball but tennis colors. It's the b-ball. So it's cool. It's cool. I just wanted to represent the artist. After I listened to O'Malley's space, it's really really cool. Like listening to different people's spaces and just seeing like how these artists really pour their souls into stuff. Like it's really really cool. So I had to support, man. So yeah, shout out to them. And then we also had the Matt Murdock Evolvables. Did you guys go for Matt Murdock at all?
I did not.
Not you either.
No.
no,
Pass
not
for me.
for me.
I did not yet, but I am looking at the warehouse back alley thing. I think that is interesting.
Diorama?
Yeah, the diorama is interesting. So I will be contemplating that. It's just I and that's the thing, right? Like it's going to be May, like
Right.
I have to protect myself.
Not financial advice, but
Yeah, I need to know how much it's going to hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Before I go willy-nilly everywhere else. But we do have a couple of things that just are coming up on the. Oh, one thing that's really coming up, and I'm kind of excited to show about it is the Vampirella 101.
Ooh.
It's really cool. It's out of my price range at 4,000 gems, but
Same.
it's really really cool. Like I would put that in my space. Like you just have it right there, and that's the beautiful thing about it. You can blow this thing up, right? Like you can do whatever you want, like once you have these things. So that's really really cool. And then we also have this Saturday dropping. Who let the dogs out? Let's go. We got the dogs. Really cool. This came out as an affiliate preview special. So we got our information a little bit earlier. We're able to share it out with our people. Really, really cool. We have Lockjaw, we have Lucky, we have Miss Lion, we have Dogpool, and we have Cosmo. Cosmo looks a little different than the Cosmo that I know, but it's okay. You know what I mean? They're 444 editions at 25 gems each. A little bit of hurt, a little bit of 25, but it's very limited, and it's also they're all secret rares. So, ladies, will you be going for the dogs?
I mean, they are adorable. Don't get me wrong, and I love dogs. I would have loved to seen this at $14.99. The 25, like I said, with May come around the corner. I don't know. I might wait and see what happens, but I do like the low edition size. What do you think, Dee?
I do, but I agree at the same time that I think if they made it $14.99 or 15 gems like the Mighties, I think maybe they would. He agrees with me totally. He says make the dogs 15 gems. So I'll probably, I don't know, because we have cats. Sorry, Raven. We have cats in the house.
We can still be friends.
We can still be friends. But the doggies are cute. But yeah, I won't be going for it like on the drop. I'll probably maybe pick one up in the market to add to Miss Punchline's cafe in the VeVeverse. So,
That's a great idea. Yeah.
I just want to let you guys know that you guys are missing out on an opportunity to boop all these noses, okay? They're all true. Very boopable.
They are boopable.
Boopable noses on the dogs. That is coming out on a Saturday. And then we also had an exciting announcement this morning about VeVe and Stacker officially joining together on an official capacity. That's going to happen April 28th. This is going to be later on this week. Guys, are you excited about Stacker and VeVe officially coming together? And have you ever used the Stacker app?
I haven't used it, so I'm not sure. Like I've heard a lot of people talk about it. But yeah, I don't know enough to really say much about it. But no, any partnership I think is exciting, and I'll have to do some research, I think.
Yep. What
Yeah.
about you, D?
I've never used Stacker myself. I know a lot of people do use it to like get information on what do you call, like, analytics on drops and stuff, and who has. I think you're able to see who has what mint or whatever, right?
Yep,
Or
you can pocket watch. That is
yeah,
my main activity that I do on
yeah.
Stacker. I do use
Stalker.
Stacker. Yeah, not Stalker, Stacker.
Stacker.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
Stacker.
Okay, that's the other app.
Yeah, I watch and I look and see what people got, and I try to all right, they have this much. I want to get up to that level one day. You know what I mean? Or if I want to see how collectible is selling, because in this market now you have to be really smart. You have to know your prices, right? So like for me, I always check out the Cat Bronson. And this week, for some reason, it went from like a solid 100 down to 50. And there's like
Nice.
10 of them at 50. And I just keep staring at it like I want it, but it's going to be May. And then I can't spend my jimmies. And it's like, but I want to spend the jimmies because I always wanted the Cat Bronson. So, but Stacker helps me make a better decision on buying those things, if it's worth it or not. Because, I mean, to be honest with you guys, once the Star Wars announcement comes out with the edition sizes and the prices, it's going to change the market. And that's the time where you're going to need Stacker to see what those prices were. And are you really getting a discount, or are people just delisting and pumping up the price and making it look good?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's going to be at official capacity, which means they're going to be able to get all the data and information that they need from VeVe, I think this is a great thing. So shout out to Stacker. Let's go. Stacker.
Stalker? Now that's all I hear.
Did you guys see anything of highlight from the VeVe verse this week that you guys really liked?
To be honest, like, I've been scrolling a lot. I've been on socials and stuff, but this weekend I tried to take a break just because it was like Easter holiday. Like, I think I've missed so many things that I probably should have looked over, but yeah, I haven't no,
Yeah.
the VeVe stuff. I might have missed like a whole bunch, and I just went over my head.
Yeah, this weekend I haven't really been paying too much attention, but I did see that Josh was live earlier, so I want to go check out what he was chatting about. He's always building some cool stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've kind of disconnected a bit this weekend.
Yeah, this was also WrestleMania weekend for me. So
Let's
I
go.
was lost in the sauce. Shout out to John Cena, the greatest of all time. Let's go. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I'm very hyped about it. But yeah, X has been kind of messing me up, man. It's been kind of messing me up, dude. I don't know what's going on. Eli, what I do, bro? What I do? I can't communicate. Come on, I can't retweet. Come on, bro. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, we are having our giveaway, guys. Make sure you're entered to the giveaway. Hashtag VeVe. There is 13 people inside right now. 13 people that we have. If you want a chance to win a VeVe collectible or comic, it is going to be hashtag VeVe. I believe it's going to be a comic. Let me just make that sure. It's going to be a comic. But hey, the comics are good. You know what I mean? We're getting out some URs. I can see some stuff. Like, all right, baby. You know what I mean? So make sure you enter into that chat. Make sure you enter that chat. We're going to give you 30 more seconds. 30 more seconds.
But
Maybe
you know
not.
what? Well, yeah. Anything that people get for free is a win.
Right? Always.
Right? Whether it's a comic, a collectible, if you didn't pay for it and someone else did, hey, you win. You just saved gems.
Just beating somebody else is fun too, right?
So we
you can see who our competitors here in the group.
So definitely want to give a shout out to that supported giveaway sponsored by VeVe. Thank you very much. And we are going to draw it live.
Right.
Who
Good luck.
will it be? Good luck to everybody that entered. It's gonna be Video
Video
Shane. Shout out to
I
Video
love it.
Shane, my guy. Congratulations to you, good sir. Make sure you hit up MC in the chats, in the DMs, and it'll get you right away. Yeah, man. Congratulations to you, Video Shane.
Congrats.
Very excited. Hell yeah,
And
man.
the great thing about that, there will be no custom charges on that delivery.
Let's
With that
go.
comment.
Terra free. Let's go.
Oh, I like that. Terra free. It sounds almost like a air spray. Terra free. You just spray that.
I need some of that. I
Raven,
need some of
I have
it.
your next commercial.
Send me a case.
Your room feels congested. Use Terra free. Free your room.
Oh, man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Today we have a very special guest. A guest so special that somebody on this panel is even a subject matter expert on said guest. Let's go.
I've heard he's a little shy.
He's a little shy sometimes, especially as a guest, but it's okay. We got him here. It's only third time talking about himself, and I can't wait to make him talk about himself and get all squishy and mushy. My guy, my brother, he's a producer, director, everything. I'm gonna call him Slash Man. Slash this, slash. He does it all. He is the man. He is the real.
Hello.
This was weird.
Were you nervous waiting to come up?
I've never been the guest where like all the stuff comes up and like, you know, it's kind of nerve-wracking where you see that thing come up and you're ready to come up here. I'm like, now I know how everyone else feels.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone?
Well, hello there. Nice to meet you, the real Hanano. How are you doing, sir? Very excited to have you on the show. Heard a lot about you. I see a lot about you. No. Hey, good and bad. It makes no difference to me, bro. So, can you tell us about your collecting journey? How did this start off? What started and sparked this passion that we see you put into all of your videos and everything that you do? It's the thing that really exudes is passion. And I tell you this all the time, you really are a wonderful representation of Hawaii in providing that aloha spirit. And what is the thing that started off for you when you were maybe a child or a teenager or something like that?
Yeah, well, okay. So let me try to go as back as I can. And I might be a little bit oh gosh, there I am. I might be a little repetitious because I was just on the Collectors Hub, but essentially my grandpa gave me a box of comics when I was young, and I'm trying to remember what was in there. I believe there was some Archie comics. Batman was definitely in there. I've seen some Superman, and then Heathcliff. So that's kind of when I first was kind of exposed to comic books, and mainly I collected comic books, but I didn't really get into the hobby until I want to say, well, actually, that's not true. When I was young, I used to really love the Sunday newspaper. So I always used to wait until Sunday for two things: the TV guide, and then the comic strips at the end of the newspaper. And there was Garfield, Doonesbury, I believe it was BC, but all those comics anyway. So I used to cut all that up, and I used to make my own comic books. I used to take cardboard, and you have the front and back, and then I used to take composition paper, and I used to glue them all into that. I'd make a comic book, like a comic strip. A lot of it was Garfield. I really liked Garfield a lot. Yeah, that's kind of how I first got exposed to comic books. But I never really got into like collecting the stuff until like the early 90s when Image Comics first came out. I was a big Image comic collector. And yeah, that's kind of how I started. That's kind of like the fast version of how I got into comic collecting specifically. I collected
So
some toys, but not just mainly comics.
so what led you into like this whole digital world then after starting out with comics as you were younger?
Okay, so when I collected comics, I collected it to a point, and the point was when I got to high school. And in high school, you weren't cool anymore to collect comic books. Girls didn't like comic book collectors, so you kind of had to pivot in high school. I mean, you all know, when you go to high school, you have to not necessarily reinvent yourself, but reinvent yourself, right? And the cool thing about where I lived is in the town where I'm at, the school only goes up to eighth grade or intermediate as we call it, and then you leave the town, and then you have the option to go to two different high schools. You can go to either on the west side or you can go on the east side. So I ended up going to the east side of the island, and we called it Guava High because the high school was covered around guava trees. So wherever you walk, you'd step onto a guava or something like that, or a mango. Yeah, D knows. But so in high school, I got out of it. And so for the longest time, I never really collected anymore, but I kept all my comic books. I still have at least half of my comic books. When you move out of your house, your mom likes to throw away all your stuff. And so that's what happened to me. So it wasn't until I found VeVe that I really got back into collecting. And it's no joke on that. And I've said the story before in the past. I came into VeVe for the value proposition. I'm sure about 80% of us did. And if you're not believing that, then well, anyways. So I think it was maybe half the year through VeVe where the market started to settle down. And, I really just started getting to the collecting. I used to watch YouTubers like My Collectibles, VeVe Vibes, he's now Digital Vibes. And, I really liked that whole idea of like, having a digital comic collection. I thought it was really cool. I like I understand the idea of like, okay, I can't have this book in real life, but I have it in physical form right here. And I understand the concept of collecting digitally. My daughter, these kids, they get the concept 100% right off the bat. You don't have to tell these kids what to do. In fact, my daughter was all like, oh, that's pretty cool. So that's kind of how I got into digital collecting. It started from VeVe, and then I spun out. I went to McFarlane, I went to Cryptoys, and now it's kind of like there's a lot of stuff going on around here. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does.
Yes, sir. I was
Sorry,
like,
I got-
muted.
um,
Well, I know all about Hinano,
no, I
so
was gonna say.
the floor is your guys's.
I
I'm
can-
giving you guys the moment.
What do you want to
time.
know that you don't know?
Yeah, I mean,
So what was your first? So you found VeVe at some point. What was the first collectible that you purchased?
so the first collectible I purchased was the DeLorean. Back to the Future is my favorite trilogy. And when you're a dad and you have kids, you want to program all your kids to your likeness, your trilogies. So my daughter had it. I think it was at the age of 1, I started programming her, mainly the car. I bought her like a squishy of the DeLorean. In fact, I have one right here. So what I mean, that's how messed up I am with this. So I love Back to the Future. I love the aspect of time travel. I'm a big sci-fi nerd. I'm a big Star Trek nerd. So um, that collectible really reminded me of my childhood. I remember watching that on VHS. I remember watching Back to the Future 2 and 3 in the theaters. And so that brought back a lot of that nostalgia. As Chris likes to always say, nostalgia respark. What's 100% right. And I think that's what makes this kind of stuff so appealing. And so what's really cool about the digital part is it got me back into the physical part. And so, I mean, you guys can't see behind me because of all the TV screens, right? But there's a bunch of comics right behind me in my office. Before there was actually a coffee table. Now it's just comics. That's how important it is. And so what I love about what the digital collecting revolution has done is it's brought my family involved. Dee collects now. And, not only does she collect, she was able to, do something that she wasn't able to do as a kid. Her brother was the one that had all the comic books. She wasn't able to read all that, but now she gets to have her own. And trust me, she does have her own, because half of these books is not mine, by the way. So that's cool. And then my daughter got into it. And that's gotten my daughter to not only start reading books, but she's now writing her own stuff. So yeah, I gotta say, VeVe did a lot to like inspire the collectors out of all of us, and I love it. I don't think I can stop doing it now. It's opened up to this community and the networking aspect. It's been a great thing, you guys.
So with your daughter, and you, 'cause my husband did the same thing. He really tried to get my boys into Thundercats,
Ooh.
and I don't know if it really worked, but he made them watch it. Um, did it work like with your daughter, or has she kind of found what she likes, or do you guys
So
still kind of like the same thing?
so we're kind of like two peas in the pod. If you
Mhm.
actually saw my daughter now, she looks exactly like me. I'm so sorry for her. But what really helped to give that example, your husband tried to expose your kids to Thundercats. Well, I exposed my daughter to the Ghostbusters, specifically the real Ghostbusters, the cartoon. And the reason I did that is when I was young, I was afraid of the dark. And I remember that cartoon came on Saturday mornings, and believe it or not, watching the Ghostbusters made me feel better as a kid. And I owned all of their stuff. I had the lunchbox, I had Slimer shirts. At the time, Slimer was a big thing for us kids. In fact, I think at one time they renamed the show Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters because he was really that big of a deal. You had like,
I didn't know
you
that.
could get like a Slimer cup, like a Slurpee cup from Slimer. And so watching the Ghostbusters, owning a proton pack, I had the sheets and everything. I had a proton pack right on the side of my bed, just in case, like, something happened, just to have that feel right. And so I did the same thing with our daughter, and Dee can attest to this. That helped her out a lot. I'd say, don't worry. You know what I mean? Just pretend you're one of these guys, and you're gonna
Mhm.
be okay. You don't have you can fight ghosts, you can bust ghosts. It went to a point we actually had a Ghostbuster birthday party for her at the beach. So that it
Nice.
did work,
That was
but
awesome. The best like theme party for a kid that we've ever thrown. And
That's
she's
dope.
11 now, and that was like the best
I
that I
think the
planned
I
for.
think the parents had more fun than the kids because it was a
Yeah.
nostalgia respark. Like the whole theme was Ghostbusters. We had like these popcorn buckets we made, and we put Ghostbuster merch that I found online. And like we played games like who can drink a bottle of cold water the fastest. Dee's
Yeah.
mom actually won, by the way. So
Skills. No,
Jeez.
that brings back memories. We were pretty awesome at throwing parties for our kids too. But it's funny how, like, again, my husband tried Thundercats. My son at like in kindergarten was wearing a Gilligan's hat to school. Like he was obsessed with Gilligan's Island. Like it's such an old show. Like it doesn't make sense to me. But watched it over and over again, and we had a whole theme party. Those were good times.
wow, Gilligan's Island, a three
Yeah,
hour tour.
yeah.
3 hour tour.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about how you like imprinted like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters on your daughter. Has there been anything that she's imprinted onto you where she's like, Dad, you gotta check this out? And then you go, wow, that's actually pretty cool.
That's a good question.
Good question.
No, not yet. It, but it's okay because, like, I guess you could say Stranger Things. Like, I'm a big Stranger Things fan, but she is like take it up a level, a couple
Yeah.
notches up, and she's big into that. She's big into like that kind of lore. But I think what really lured her into like that series or that type of genre was the kids. When you incorporate kids into any type of subject matter, well, obviously it's going to attract kids. Like Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars that came out. I know some Star Wars fan, they couldn't really get into it on the first episode, but for me, the kids really brought me in, and it brought my daughter in. We watched it, and when we were watching that show, we didn't look at it as a Star Wars show. In fact, to me, it was Treasure Planet. If you guys have ever watched Star Wars Skeleton Crew, really good show, by the way. And I'm not even a big Star Wars fan. It delved with Star Wars, but in reality, it delved with the kids and what would happen if kids were put in a situation like this, right? Where like they get kidnapped in a spaceship and they go on an adventure, right? Well, the same thing happens in Stranger Things. You know what I mean? There's like some crazy nefarious things, and the upside down gets revealed, and they go on an adventure. And so I think in the end, all of us, when we're looking at comics, when we're looking at collecting, it brings us back to that kid in us and wanting to go on adventures. Doesn't matter if it's a DeLorean, doesn't matter if like the Millennium Falcon or something like that. I think we all just kind of want to be whisked away to like somewhere else.
Oh yeah, because when I was growing up, we had Home Alone, and he was a kid, and I was a kid, and please believe I had booby traps set up for days for people. It was bad too, because like some of them were like I didn't realize like I could have killed people, but like there was like a construction site like next to my house, so like they had all sorts of stuff, and I was just like,
gotta do with some nails.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And shoots the nails up, and it'll land on his head, and he'll go ah.
Did you have the little recording thing from Home Alone 2? I had that too.
The walkie-talkie boy, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great time in my life, and that's the cool thing, right? Like just remembering like all these things you used to collect as a kid, and then it's like you said, Hanano, you get to high school, and you're like, oh, can't care about that no more. You know what I mean? I care about my rep, and then you get older, you're just like, I don't care about my rep anymore. This is cool again.
Yeah, I've done it all. It's fun. I'm married. You know what I mean? Like nobody impressed. You know what I mean?
Let's go. Yeah.
She's stuck with me, so. Let's go.
Can you share because we were talking about Ghostbusters, can you share with the audience like a really fun memory of something that you did with your daughter regarding the Ghostbusters? Because that was like, for me, looking from my perspective, I thought it was like the cutest thing. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Halloween. Yeah.
I got you. Yeah. So what Dee's alluding to is during COVID, or at least the tail end of it, the kids weren't really going out to trick or treat, and we could do that, but like people were still kind of worried. And so what we did was we were a part of a community event called Trunk or Treat, where we would decorate our trunks, and it would be themed depending on, what theme that you wanted. And so, my daughter was so staunch. She really wanted to do this. And she's like, Dad, we got to decorate the trunk of your car, because I drive the car in the family. Dee's the one with the big truck. We got to decorate your car as the Ghostbusters. And I'm like, okay, I'm on it. And so I think we got up super early. It's the first time my daughter got up early, by the way. I think it was like 5:30 in the morning. It was insane. And we went to town. I remember we grabbed like paper plates because we're trying to figure out like what are we going to use for the sign. And she started drawing like the Ghostbuster sign on a paper plate. And then we decorated my trunk. And so we had all of her old toys, because she has a bunch of Ghostbuster toys. She's got like all the Ecto ones. She's got I don't know if you ever watched the girl Ghostbusters. I don't know what that one's really called. I try to forget that one. Not because I don't like women as Ghostbusters, but because it was really badly made. But anyway,
very campy.
I like
very campy. But yes, Kevin did save the show. But she's got a lot of that props laying around. So like we had the proton pack, we had those cars. She had a remote control version of that Ecto one, which was that ugly looking Cadillac hearse. And then we went to town. We decorated everything. I think we spent a good 5 hours, because my daughter's a perfectionist like me. We're rearranging everything until a point where Dee brought out this umbrella, because we're all sweating, because we live in Hawaii, right? It's hot. And she had this umbrella. Yeah. And we were eating snacks, and we were playing the Ghostbusters theme over and over again. Our neighbors were watching us look like fools, and it was a good time. And I remember that night when we showed up to my cousin's house, because she was the one hosting the event. And I remember my daughter's like, Dad, don't open the trunk. I'm like, why? Because we want it to be a surprise when the people come, right? And it's like, okay. And so I remember we opened up that trunk, and everyone was like, oh my goodness, because I had the Bluetooth hooked up already. So as soon as that trunk opened up, the theme played perfectly. Like it was a production, right? And she's looking at me like, come on, Dad, hit the button, right? And it worked out, and everyone had a good time. I think There were some other themes there. Someone did like a theme of the Grinch, which was crazy. Hawaii, right? Why would you dress up as a Grinch? But there was that. Another one was kind of like, I think, a Freddy Krueger type of style, and it was cool. And we had the Ghostbusters in our trunk. So yeah, it was a good memory.
That's so dope, man. Just like, imagine just doing that with your dad, and it's a shared experience you have, and that's something that collecting brought to you and your daughter. Like, that's fire. And even for D, even though like that's your guys, that's something that's so memorable and just stays in your mind and is just really special. So, that's why I love collecting, man. It brings you stories like this. I mean, even when we all get together and just share the passion, like, I feel the same way about Back to the Future and Ghostbusters as you. Like those are my movies, you know what I mean? And like you talking about the cartoon, the real Ghostbusters, and then, bro, if I ever had a ghost trap, I wanted that thing so bad. This is like slide it out, get your ass.
We have two because I wanted one. So
yeah, see, and that's the cool thing, right? You can buy that. Yeah. Like,
I need the one on VeVe though. I have the physical one. That's it. But what's cool about this is like now when you do this stuff with your kids, we have these to like our phones to save this, right? Yeah. And so like when we were decorating the trunk, I never thought of saving anything, but luckily I have a wife that loves to record our whole lives, and we have it, forever now. It's a great thing.
So you spoke a little bit about how you kind of almost produced that trunk scene. Starting off kind of like all of us, right? Especially all of us on this panel as just a fan of the VeVe, and then getting to know these streamers, these YouTubers, and Twitter people, and then you actually going to an event, and that's kind of inspired you to continue the conversation because you had good conversations with people, and maybe not the same people that we usually hear from, right? What really kind of like set the spark in you, not only to like do this, but there's hard times in this too, where it's like, is it worth it? Is my time worth it? I'm spending a lot of time doing this. When was the moment that kind of affirmed for you that you're on the right path, and then now continuing in, like you say, you're a perfectionist, you're producing all these shows, you're making sure they're crisp. Like, the reason why this show is crisp is because of the tools that you provide for me to just click. Like, what was that moment that affirmed to you that, like, you know what, this is the right thing to do?
So I brought this up before, and I'm not sure if people remember this, but there was, I think it was, so we started doing live streams on my birthday last year. And that was just something that I wanted to do. In my life, I've always wanted to tackle things that were hard, because if you don't try to tackle something that's hard or outside of your element, then for me, there's no progression, at least for me. Everyone is to each his own, different strokes for different folks. Pause. So for me, I wanted to do something that was out of my element. Talking on camera is out of your element. Doing something like this is out of your element. And so, and if people knew me or knew who I was 5 years ago before finding this space, you would have never thought I'd be up here. I mean, I'm in my mid 40s. I shouldn't be here, guys. I shouldn't be collecting digital toys and hosting a YouTube channel. I should really be like, concentrating on my, getting my pensions all in order and stuff like that, because, half of my life has gone away. But what really kind of sparked this was I think it was our 8th live stream, and we were supposed to meet a bunch of our friends that came and flew down from California. And we were meeting at a restaurant up in town. And I think it was like 5 of them. They're waiting for us. And, it was supposed to be a really short live stream, and we were just supposed to get out of there. Well, just for some reason, and, everyone knows us here. When we were called the Real Uncommon Podcast, we had an open door policy. As long as you're not a dick, come and talk story with us, right? That was the whole point of us doing this, was we want to talk story. We want to spread that aloha spirit. And we would just throw the link out there. Well, that night, everyone decided to come up to talk story. And I think we maxed out StreamYard, which was just 10 people. And we had like Superstar Money, Bones. I think some Cryptoids people came in out of there. I know My Collectibles was up there at one time. We had
Yeah.
a bunch of
Captain O.
people. Captain O. Well, no, I don't think Captain O was that day. I'm talking about like the
Oh.
8th live stream where,
Oh.
remember, they were all waiting for us. And we were, in fact, they
Oh, that's
came.
right.
My friends came to the house, and we were still on the live stream, and I had to
Yeah.
like tell them we're coming. Don't
Mhm.
worry. But that was the day where I was like, wow, we got something really cool here where people want to hang out and continue the conversation and talk about this stuff, because this space is so fascinating to me, because there's so much going on here. Everyone looks at this space like, it's digital collectibles, blah. It's crypto, you're going to get scammed. I'm like, no, really look down the rabbit hole of what's going on here. There's all type of stuff. There's AI, there's metaverses being formed. Companies are here quietly. You know what I mean? Big dogs are actually in the shadows. They're in here invested in this space. And so this space to me is the new internet. And so that really dawned on me, the new internet where you can connect with people, we can interact with people. Yeah, we did this through digital collecting, but that was just a means to find this space, right? Connect with the people here. And so now DNI wants to perpetuate this space because there's a lot of opportunity. And to me, once again, this is like the new internet. Why not be a part of the new internet, guys? And so that's what it really clicked, that what we're doing here is meaningful. And then we moved more further than that. There's something that I did not explain in the Collectors Hub. This channel helped us form our community. You guys are a very shining example of that. I remember when DNI asked both Raven and the Biggest Bro to be our mods, also a Tem, in our Discord. We actually have 5 NFT projects we created. A lot of people don't realize that, because if you're not in our community, you would have never known. Arcade, he inspired me. Actually, Arcade and MC, they both inspired me to create our own collection so we could give back to our audience. When we got monetized, we wanted to give back. And so, a lot of that kind of like really just enhanced what we did here. And so we started a community. And I love you guys, because we have not been attending to you guys like we should in the Discord. And I apologize for that. But, part of like when you start a community is you want to make sure that your community is rewarded as well. And so like every month we try to reward them with, either giveaways or something of that sort. So I think it was episode 8 where it really steamrolled what we're doing here. And then now look at where we are now, you guys. We're building something that that is fun, and I don't think has ever been built before. So
Thank you, Hinana, for sharing that. I mean, I can go on and on about your talents and all that, but yes, I'm very biased, but it's also very true. And I know a lot of people can contest to that as well. But yeah, thank you for sharing your story and a little bit more of your background and some fun moments that you have, sharing with Miss Punchline, as she's called now, with the family and the viewers. So there was a question in the chats earlier, way up above, from C-Spill, and I don't think you said it yet. But they asked what your favorite like collectible is that has like a really like sentimental value to you. Like, what's your most cherished collectible?
So I remember this question was brought up, and my favorite collectible is the DeLorean now. But to answer the question on what's something that has memory to it, and it's the Battlestar Galactica. And here's the reason why. When I first met my wife, it was around the time when Battlestar Galactica was on TV. And my wife, when she met me, she was young. She wanted to go out, have fun. But I said, Fridays, we can't go out. What do you mean Fridays we can't go out? I'm like, because it's Sci-Fi Friday on the Sci-Fi channel, and I have to watch Stargate, SG-1, Stargate Atlantis, and Battlestar Galactica. And so I pretty much programmed her to watch Battlestar Galactica, and we got so hooked on that was like date night for DNI every Friday, to a point where like we would have to make sure that we got home at a certain time to just at least watch Battlestar Galactica. We used to make dinner together, sometimes candlelit, sometimes we'd invite people over. But yeah, that show really kind of like solidified when we first met, because right off the bat I said Friday nights we can't go out, at least when the season was airing, right? And so we used to like go out on Saturdays instead. But I just remember when I first met her, and I believe this was in 2006 when we first got together. And yeah, every Friday we just, you know, it would be date night for her and I. And it was a good thing too, because like it solidified our relationship, because no matter what we did on Fridays, and we did it for 3 years straight, because that's how long that show lasted when she started dating me. Fridays was date night for us, and it was a special thing for us too. I mean, I think we would go out after, right, Dee? If our friends were at the clubs, we would like probably go meet them after. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
What was your initial reaction, Dee, when he had that ultimatum?
Yeah, it's
Me-
either date night on Fridays or you out, girl. No,
Had you
it
watched
was
sci-fi in the past, or was this like a new dive in for you?
no. I've watched sci-fi in the past, not as much as he did. I watched sci-fi, like I knew some of like Star Trek, like the older shows, like not as much as Hinano, but I knew like the main characters of the show, like the captain and all the officers. But I couldn't like recite like episode blah blah blah. This is where this person got kidnapped or they took over this place. So like I couldn't tell you that. But I did like I was familiar with sci-fi and other shows. So like when he told me that, it wasn't like weird because I knew of sci-fi, but it was just like in the like a show, and I don't know how you like. I think he made me watch like a trailer of the show to kind of like introduce me to it, and yeah, I just gave it a shot,
I
and I was
remember
like,
what I did.
oh, what
I
did you
remember what I
do?
did.
You gave
It
me food.
was
You gave me chocolates.
I did. By the way, yeah, that was the easiest way to get Dee to do anything. Just feed her chocolate and like ice cream. I was on it. Trust me, I pay attention. I keep my ear to the ground. So, but
Smart man.
it was season 3, the 3rd episode. I say, watch this show and watch how crazy these guys get. And if you guys are a big Battlestar Galactica fan, that 3rd episode in season 3 showed exactly what that spaceship could do under some really crazy circumstances. And so that episode was like so action packed and nuts. It was like watching a full blown movie. And I just remember watching her eyes get really big when she saw all the explosions, and just like, yeah, they just did that with that spaceship, by the way. And so, yeah, I think that was the one. That was the one I showed you. Like, just give it a chance. Check this out, right? You know? And it wasn't just about sci-fi. That was the good thing about that show. See, people, I feel like people don't give things a chance because they look at the surface of things, right? You know, or sometimes they'll just look at like, it's like my daughter. She won't try food just by looking at it. You know, you got to
Yeah.
taste it. And so really you got to give people the right taste of something in order for them to like it. And so I just said, just get a taste of this. And she saw not, you know, just spaceships, but people going through some harrowing acts to overcome evil or overcome something of that sort. And so that's really what the show was about. It was about people overcoming, you know, something.
Yeah, it's and here we are now. Like, it's so funny because I mean, I know the show is about Hinano, but I'm just gonna share like an experience. Is like him and I could be with a group of friends or family members, and there's just something like that someone may say, or we see something and we can relate to it, but in like a show that we watched over and over, and we reference that, and we're like the only ones that know about what we're talking about, and so you just get like a little chuckle out of it. Or like if I'm like, say if I'm like with Raven and she's saying something and I reference like something from Battlestar, and I chuckle to myself because I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, you probably don't understand what I'm saying.
we did watch Battlestar. I think my husband and I are very similar to both of you. We
Okay.
probably watched the same shows and sat in watching the same shows, and that was one of our favorites for sure. So what
I
the
gotta
crap,
correct.
D?
I gotta correct John though. The new Battlestar, not the old one. So this is
I've seen both.
the Ronald D. Moore. Yeah, the first one's cool, but the second one is my Battlestar.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the
And
frack?
What the
yeah,
frack?
that's where
Like-
that saying comes from. What the frack? And that's what I use, and people are like, did you spell spell the F word wrong?" And I said, "No, I spelled it just the way it's supposed to."
That's right.
But like, I've always loved music, but since I met Hinano, and now you can see in the production that he puts out, he's the one that got me into really, what do you call it, paying attention more to like the scores of movies and like the, you know, the theme songs of certain shows, and just like the way like you that music can like the way, what I'm trying to say is when you're like the theme song or score of a movie really captures like the audience in certain ways, and like the producers um, put it in like certain places of the shows for a reason, and Hinano does a wonderful job at doing that. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Great at making theme songs.
Thanks.
Intros.
He's a creative person that's great at making all sorts of things, from the VeVe to theme songs to intros to transitions, and you know he does a lot for a lot of people, and you know it's never really he doesn't boast about it, right? Like he helps out a lot. He's there, he supports everybody in his chat. I know if you have any type of thing that you do as a project, he's been there to support you, and he's been there in DMs and phone calls and texts. He's just that type of person. And you know, for me personally, I am very lucky to have him in my life. Like, very, very lucky to meet him in person, and he's real. It's a real thing. It's not it's just as advertised.
You
You guys
made
are
him
making me tear
cry.
up.
Stop.
You guys are making me tear up here.
No,
And I was gonna say,
but
But-
it's true. That's why I say that you are the quintessential representation of Hawaii, right? Like that aloha spirit of that, just wanting to help out your fellow brother. Like it's a need. Like, you know, like it's just, it's really inspiring for me. I know, and that's the thing. Like, if you don't really see it, you don't realize how much these two do. These two are no, it's real.
superheroes. They're superheroes.
You are. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like, you know, like there's so much that you guys do, and there's plenty of people in this space, right? And you know, just like I saw OBL, right? Like there's beacons of light in the space that, you know what, it doesn't matter as long as you get to be around that light. That's what matters, right? Like when I booked my tickets to Vegas last year, there was nobody there but us, just us, and we went there for us, and it was the most wonderful time. And it's because you get to just shine in that light, and I got to meet new people. I got to like reacquaint with old friends. Like it's a beautiful thing, and that's like one of the things that I'm really proud of this community and the people that are in it, is just that there's lights there, and that's what makes it, right? Like that's what makes the experience. Like Decon could not have been there, but if those moments that we shared together in those restaurants, in the boardwalk, like the walks, the talks, the random just sitting there chilling, and the adventures, right? like
The Fremont crew. Shout out to the Fremont crew.
Yeah. You know, just and you know, and that's the thing, right? And that was one side of Vegas, and there was another side of Vegas who were in a mansion, and they have their own experience and a beautiful connection to things, right? So that's the beauty of us. We are the product. We are it. No one can take that away. Like that's what, like, and you know, I don't want to talk about it, but like, it's disappointing when some things happen. But damn it, that's not why we're going. We're going for us. It's us. Like that's my thing, man. And it sucks because, you know, like when I see people that are down, especially people that I rock with, it's hard. It's like, I don't like that. But at the same time, just like Hanano here, if you're a light, let it shine, man. And it's really, really amazing to see you shine, bro. Like you've been doing all these things, and I know it's outside of your wheelhouse, quote unquote, but you're making it yours. You are showing that doing hard things, it's well worth it, because at the other side of it, now it's your playground. Now you get to dictate what happens in this story now. So I just I'm a big person of giving people their roses when they're here, when they can accept them, and when they don't want to accept them, I'm good at shoving them in their face.
Well said.
And I will probably never give this opportunity again because he won't let it happen. So I'm going to take my chance right here to publicly tell everybody about my brother. So yes,
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, where do I, how do I follow that? No, thank you. Everybody knows me on this panel. They know that I'm not someone that likes to be in the spotlight. I like to hang back. I like to be in the back of the room. I like to see what's going on. If I decide to say something, I will. But yeah, you're never gonna see me like stand on the top of this building and say, "Here I am." That's just not me. It's never been me. But Biggest Bro is right. If someone needs help, I'm here to help. And then when I mean help, though, it's like I'm here to help. I'm not here to do, if that makes any sense, right? And so, like, a lot of people, and Pasternak, I don't even remember that. And I'm so glad I was able to help you back in the day. I remember a lot of people needed help back in the day. And, when people ask for help, either some people will help them or some people won't. I'm the guy that'll open the door for the old lady. You know what I mean? I'll grab groceries. I'll buy your lunch if I'm in, if I'm in the front of you and I see like a family of kids behind me, I'll buy their stuff. You know what I mean? Because I believe in good karma, and I believe good karma should be expressed. And so, yeah, that's just the kind of guy I am. I don't know what else to say here, guys. So thank you for the kind words, Big Bro. I appreciate you. You know how much I love you. All of you here.
And that takes me to this partnership that we have together as the True Media Group, and I am incredibly humbled and proud to have you three as my partners. And I will say this, I say this behind the scenes all the time. I have the best team in the world.
Yeah.
And I believe that because we all are for each other, and we're also still for others. Like, that's the thing. We can help everyone grow. And that's kind of like what we're going to do. I'm very excited. And it's time to put in the work now. It's time to put in the work. It's time to dig in, and we want everybody else to dig in with us. Look, man, it's time, guys. No time like the present. It's time to get it. You know what I mean? Like, let's go. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, man. So yeah, I don't know how to end this, but we still have a show, but we really do appreciate you, man. I know it seems like a layup just to have you on the show, but I really was excited, and as always, really glad to hear your story and learn a little bit more about you, even things I didn't know before, just because that's how conversations come up.
Oh, there's a lot you don't know about me. There's so much, isn't there, D? There's like an endless.
Oh, there's loads.
I mean, this would be like a 2 long. I mean, I think we were on the Collectors Hub for 3.5 hours. They had like 2% of me in there. Yeah. And I think you guys have like maybe 0.5. So,
D, are you our guest next week? We've got questions.
Let's go.
Oh, no.
I'm down.
I signed. No, when I came on the team here, I signed that I will not be up here to talk
no
about
interviews. Let's go. But
you don't want to hear me.
We do have a task for you, my friend, and that is to give us some homework. Is there any kind of comic or artist or storyline that's on the app that you are really particular in, and I know you're a DC man, and I know you have to dig deep for this one. But is there one for you?
So I can't give you that answer, but I can give you this answer because um he's right. I'm a big person in DC right now. I've been following the Absolute series. Unfortunately,
Mm.
none of those titles are on the VeVe platform, and I'm also a big Image fan. You know what I mean? So like, there's a lot of great books on those platforms as well. So specifically on the VeVe side, or Marvel, mainly Marvel, right? I have not been reading a lot of books on Marvel. So the task I want you guys to do is find a book and tell your audience about that book next week. Find something that you feel is meaningful to you guys on the app, specifically either on Marvel, Ablaze, Dynamite. I could have said, hey, go read DuckTales #1, but I want you guys to find a book for yourselves and tell your audience about that book and why you chose that book.
Okay.
Fire, okay.
Leveling up the game as always.
Look at all these. Always trying to give us the extra credit homework.
Yeah.
Dang. Now it's a book report.
Yeah, it's like, no less than 5 pages, guys.
Yeah. Right. No
Hey,
double
at least
spacing.
you can at least find you can find a book that at least, and not like a Bible. You know what I mean? So,
Well, thank you, good sir, for joining the show.
thank
And
you.
we
Yeah, thank you,
appreciate it, and we'll see you around, right?
I'll be here.
Yeah.
I'll be in the back of the room.
I'll see you soon.
All right. And so, D, do we have some community shout outs this week?
Yeah, let me share my screen real quick.
And then make sure everybody you're putting in hashtag key comment, key moment, key comment, key hashtag key moment for your chance to win one of these wonderful bundles that we have today. Stacked, I tell you. Let's go.
All right. So, and let's get us up here. Okay, so I have 3 this week. Starting off with Evolved.
Heyo.
Ayo, thank you for being in the chats, man. That is not why I chose you. But Evolved, he's in multiple projects, not only VeVe, but he's also in a kid called Beast, the Brass Cider project. He's been doing a lot of spaces with the bass jump community, and getting us more familiarized with that project. And he's also been printing. So he got a 3D printer, and he's been printing out a lot of stuff. So he has a segment called Evolve Prints. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Evolve Prints or Evolve Printing, but I'm pretty sure it's Evolve Prints. And you can check out his he got shorts on his YouTube channel. And this guy has always been a huge supporter of not just when we were at the Real Uncommon podcast, but even till now, and as well as other people in the community. So if you guys don't mind, just go give him a follow, and also check out his YouTube channel, and just give him some support as well, because he's an awesome dude.
Yes, he is. Shout out to Evolve, man.
100%. And then we also got the comic guy, who's always telling us, guys, read your freaking comic books, okay?
Read your books.
Read your books, okay?
Great advice.
Yes, he's a great teacher, and reminding us each week, read your damn books, kids. But yeah, he's also a very cool guy. We got to meet him in real life.
Yeah.
And we also had him on the podcast. If you want to go check out his episode, I don't remember which episode, so that'll be your homework, audience, to go and find it, and get to know him a little bit more. But he's also a great supporter of, he's not always like loud and like posting a bunch of stuff on the timeline, but every once in a while, if you follow him, he puts out, little things to check out. And so I advise everyone to go.
And he runs the McFarland Discord with Trivia Night along with Video Shane. Really fun, entertaining show. It makes you feel like you can't do trivia fast enough because some of these people are insanely good. But it's
Yeah.
always a good time with Common Guy. And then he's always posting about McFarlane and the latest digital things that they come out with. So he's a really good follow to have for sure.
Yeah. And Raven, are you familiar with the McFarlane trivia night on their
I
Discord?
have heard of it, yeah, and I've been meaning to jump in. I'm not great at DC trivia at all.
So I have a
But
chance to win against you.
you definitely have a chance. But I've seen it posted a few times, and I've been wanting to do it for sure.
Yeah, it's a great show, and it's actually not only just DC. I mean, they do have DC like giveaways, but the questions are like 80s trivia.
Yeah. It
They
could be
have
literally
like
about
Okay.
anything. It's really
anything.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have
yeah.
another one
So
coming out this Thursday. So
What
shout out.
time? Do you know?
I
it's
believe
at
5
usually
PST.
5:30 PST.
Cool.
I think.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Just be warned. I'm gonna let you know right now. You're gonna be like, "Whoa, this is fast," but you can get in there.
Okay, that sounds
I
like a
got a couple of
challenge.
questions. I got a couple of questions. Like, I got in there, but yeah,
I got
it's fast.
two questions right. Because it's by whoever answers it correctly first, kind of like arcades game.
Yeah.
And only twice in the many shows I've been to, I got 2 times.
Oh no.
Because like people are like, I'm like, are these all bots? Because like they're super fast. But
All right.
yeah, I think you'll enjoy
Challenge
yourself, Raven.
accepted.
Yeah,
Yes.
and so we're confirming it is going to be at 5:30 PST, 5:30 p.m. PST, and it's a POAP event. So you get a collectible just for showing up. You get a POAP. I mean,
Nice.
can you afford to even miss this? Right? Like,
And
shout
it's
out to the Common
$3.99.
Guy and Video Shade for show.
For sure. Yeah, and he also Comic Guy also has a YouTube channel, so please go and also subscribe to that. And then last but not least, we had him on last week, but on Aloha Friday. But Dr. Kinan, he's another one, great guy and collector in many different platforms that we all are part of. And yeah, I mean, he just loves collecting, and he also, just recently started his YouTube channel as well to show people his collecting journey on all the platforms that he's involved in, from VeVe, from McFarlane, oh, there was another one, Cryptoys, Pinnacle. And so, yeah, go give him a follow. If you want to just like if you're not in any of those projects that I mentioned that he's in, go and watch his shorts or videos. And, maybe that will kind of entice you to go and check out different platforms. Because at the end of the day, it's like all the same fandom, just on different platforms, if you really think about it, and different ways to collect said fandoms. But yeah, go give him a follow as well on X and on YouTube. And yeah, that is all the community shout outs for today.
I do want to shout out Raven. And maybe she can tell us a little bit about this thing's happening.
Yeah, Damon, Flexi, and me will be hosting on May the 4th at 1 Eastern, a little Discord. We'll chat about comics is what our usual show is, but we're changing it up and talking everything Star Wars that's dropping. We're going to have lots of games. You can win VXP, and I think there'll be a few collectibles up for grabs. So yeah, come join us in the VeVe Discord in the comics channel on May the 4th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go, Raven.
May the 4th be with you, huh? All right, and we're getting very, very close to the giveaway time, guys. Make sure you're getting inside there, putting hashtag key moment. We have 20 people in. Has anybody go? There are so many good prizes. Do we have the list up at all?
Yes, I have it here. Let's see.
Beautiful. Remove mine. Oh, my bad. There you go.
I'll just heads up. Okay, so thank you, Raven, for this beautiful graphic. We have our giveaway bundles for today. Okie dokie. So we've got bundle number 1 here. We got magic number 4. We have Predator versus Spider-Man. And we have the, what is this one? Amazing Spider-Man. I'm trying to get the, am I saying that wrong, guys? I'm trying to get the actual, it is, yeah, Amazing Spider-Man number 2. So that's the first bundle. Then we have bundle number 2 here. We got 2 Predator versus Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man number 2. Bundle number 3, we have One World Under Doom number 3, Predator versus Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man number 2. And then bundle number 4, we have One World Under Doom, Amazing Spider-Man, and Predator versus Spider-Man. And then we also have our bonus giveaway, one of 25 ratio, all new Venom number 5, cover artist Dyke Ruin, and we just gotta see what Big Bro says for you to enter to win that one.
Oh, I got it. For your chance to win the 1 of 25 deck group.
Easy on the K.
Easy on the K. Stay soft. Hey, shout out to Key Collector. He sent us a video that made us die laughing this morning. It was amazing. What was Hanano's high school nickname? What was Hanano's high school nickname? First person to put it in the chat will win the 1 of 25 by the deck group. Come on.
Pause.
What was Hanano's?
Was it Guava Boy?
Guava High.
Oh,
Guava Boy. Sorry, Machin. It was Guava High. Oh, Guava Boy. It was not Guava Boy, right? Was it Guava Boy?
it's Guava High.
Guava High.
Let's go. Great question.
Guava High. Shout out to Kiwi Jezza. You are the winner. Shout out to Kiwi Jezza. Your name sounds like it's outside the U.S., so we will be in contact with you concerning your tariffs or whatever that may come. But shout out to you, Kiwi. Congratulations. Shout out to Majin Jesus and John. You guys are both close but wrong, but close. So it's good. It's good. Another Guava Boy. Like you thought you had it too. No, that's okay. Let's go. Guava High was the winner. Shout out to them. Let's add this to the stage and let's spin for the winner.
All right.
I'll take this remove. Add. Booyah. Here we go, guys. Make sure you put it in. If you did, too late. Here we go. First winner of bundle number 1.
Good luck.
Spin!
Let's go.
Spin! Let's go! And we're going to draw it again. Here we go. Bundle number 2. Who's gonna get it? It's Richard!
Our favorite bean.
Our favorite bean. Dude, Richard was such a cool guest that you had on for Into the Verse. That was so dope.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude. He is so creative. Like, it's insane. It's insane. All right. Going for bundle number 3. Who's gonna be the winner today? It's gonna be Mahalo Joe. Mahalo Joe. Shout out to Mahalo Joe. As always, they have a show tonight, Camping Out for Comic with him and Mass. A wonderful, beautiful show. Here we go. And for our fourth and final winner today, here we go. It's gonna be Batman. Shout out to Batman Who Laughs. All of you guys, make sure you get in contact with Key Comics, Key Comics, and we are going to get those comics out to you. Shout out again to our wonderful, beautiful sponsor, Key Comics, who provides these giveaways for us out of the goodness of his heart, guys. I'm just letting you guys know he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart and to help us out. My guy, we appreciate you. What a great show he had yesterday. My wife was upset with me. She's like, why are you giving money back to your sponsor? And I said, I am getting comic books. Leave me alone. Oh, man. So we do have a couple of shows that's coming up. We have Future Watch tonight at 7 p.m. D, I heard you have a very special guest from Second Life?
Yeah, we have. I've never spoken with her except on DMs recently. But yeah, we have Carmen, and she's going to be telling us about her journey and experience in Second Life. So that's going to be an interesting, but I'm really like looking forward to that conversation because she can tell us all about it because I've never, besides what MetaBeast has shown us the last time, I've never delved into Second Life as as a metaverse. So yeah, it's gonna be a really cool conversation, I think. So tune in if you guys can.
Heck yeah, it sounds like a really cool conversation. Definitely be watching out for that. Future Watch is doing great things. We have coming out for comics with Mahalo Joe and Mask tonight at a new time. It is at 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, a little bit earlier for your head tops, so that way our East Coast people can tune in also. We also have a Builders Assemble by the Collectors Hub, my man Mainzy, J.E.'s, Gex, Casual, dude, like the team. Bonger, yes. Thank you, Unibonger. They got coming out in about 30 minutes on the X Spaces. There'll be a VeVe Wednesday tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with Doctor Strange and our man Osmond Collects, the president himself. Then we have Into the Verse with Dr. Rolex. You got Rolly on? What's Rolly going to show us Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time? And then I believe Key's comic show is on Thursday this week. I believe it's Thursday. Usually it's Friday, but I believe it's Thursday. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to butcher the name, and I'm sorry, Key. I'm going to get it right, but it's going to be Oldies, but Philip on the goodies.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. Oldies, but filling up on the goodies. And it's going to be a very interesting style of show where it's going to be a bunch of old school books. So you can fill your boxes up. He has some very special plans, so can't wait for that one. And then he also has one coming up on the 28th for all the people that's like really been supporting, and it has like from bronze on up. And he has a special show just for us. So if you purchase from Key Comics, very special show coming out for you guys. And then we have Aloha Friday with Tales from the Future right off the back of him releasing his new product, his part 2. He's releasing part 2 on Friday, and then he's going to be on Aloha Friday. D and Hanano, they get him right then, right when it's fresh and hot interviews. Let's go. And then we have a slab giveaway.
No, that's worse, guys. It was Easter Sunday. We took some time off to spend with our families, but we will be giving you a post soon, coming soon. You know, our favorite S word in the space, coming very soon, about our 50 subs on our YouTube channel. We have not forgotten about it. We all have lives between the three of us, well, the four of us. So.
But we've been we've graciously received some slabs from Key Comics, Key Collector, and we are going to just blast it. It's going to be a great time, guys. So, Raven, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It's been an amazing show, and you've been listening to VeVe Radio,
where we collect big,
dream bigger.
And we'll see you
next time.
Let's go.
Let's go.